That's really easy. It comes down to confidence. Fashion is a tool. You get out of the shower one day and you can either put on your pajamas or you can put on a power suit. What is the purpose of your day and how can you dress for it?
If you've heard of the longevity Bible Lifespan by Professor David Sinclair, you know that living well is more important than just living long. In fact, this show is dedicated to the science of beauty, wellness, and longevity. That's why I'm so thrilled to partner with Melrose Future Lab for Season 9 of the Ageless Radiance Club podcast. Future Lab is Australia's first supplement range focused on extending not just your lifespan, but your health span. Available exclusively at Chemist Warehouse, these affordable and science-backed supplements are the key to aging well. We're joined today by Claire Fabb, celebrated fashion strategist and style expert known for her ability to take the aspirational and make it attainable. As a prominent fashion commentator, Claire continues to drive innovation in fashion, strategic partnerships at The Iconic. Claire's passion for helping clients build an iconic capsule wardrobe with confidence is renowned in the industry, and she is a go-to expert on the topic. Claire was a speaker at the Ageless Radiance Club, and her segment, Building a Capsule Wardrobe, was one of the most talked about sessions of the day. Today, we discuss the power of investing in yourself through style choices, discovering your unique signature, and building a versatile wardrobe that adapts to different life moments. Claire shares her insights on circular fashion and conscious choices, as well as her own journey through breast cancer and what it taught her about resilience and self-expression through style. This was such a surprising and fun conversation on fashion, personal branding, and a modern approach to reinvigorating your wardrobe. This episode is in partnership with our friends at The Iconic.
I think what we all want to have and be is feel confident in ourselves at the end of the day. So everything that we talk about, everything we put in our mouth, the exercise we do, that's great. We are all striving to better ourselves. But fundamentally, I think what we wear is a big part of who we are. It builds that confidence, but it also is our personal brand. And I don't want to get into the marketing branding side of things, but at the end of the day, you know, when you walk out of the door and you feel amazing because you look in the reflection and you like what you see, that it changes your mood. And so it's really significant that everyone should feel great about who they are, but also how they look. It doesn't matter what size you are. It doesn't matter what color you are. It doesn't matter, none of it really matters. It's just about that confidence. But fundamentally, fashion is there to feel inspired, to feel adorned. It's a really powerful kind of tool that you can use. And we definitely can lean into that and own that as we get older, and really identifying what your style identity is part of that. And the capsule collection is just one part. I have always been in fashion. I have loved fashion since the day I was born. I mean, I was in high school and got a job at Spree when I was 16, and it was like
Oh, that would have been a coveted job. That's
I was like, I just thought I thought I'd made it. So, so that's kind of where it started. I've always loved fashion. It's always come to me very naturally. I've always been really kind of inspired and inspired and creative, and looking at, people watching is my favorite thing to do when I travel, and seeing what people are wearing, and, you know, identifying that kind of element.
I want to, I guess, I can't draw parallels, but I do want to honor the fact that in life there are other big moments. Certainly cancer is the biggest moment, so please forgive me for stomping all over the topic. But I think another moment in life where women lose a sense of self sartorially definitely is post-pregnancy. And it seems to really undo a lot of people and their ID and their sense of self. I'm wondering, when you are working with clients, either as a personal stylist or in the context of, the bigger picture at a brand like The Iconic, which has to identify trends and help their customers, I guess, navigate. What do you think is the thing that gives the empowerment back to women when it comes to fashion, so that they feel like they've got the thread again? They can they can participate in the conversation, they can enjoy it again, they get excited again.
Well, I mean, it comes back to confidence, like, and also that educational piece about understanding what is happening to your body. Because, of course, like you go through pregnancy and your body changes. You have a lifestyle change after you have a baby because maybe you're not working and suddenly you're at home all the time. And then when you go through perimenopause or menopause, I mean, one of the side effects is you put on weight. I mean, it just isn't fair. But the reality is that fashion is there where you can really enhance it and you can play it to your advantage. So with your different body shapes, you can play around with different kind of, like tailoring is a beautiful way that you can cinch a waist, for example, and or the illusion of a waist, because many of us have lost it along the way. But also, belting is another great styling technique. So there's different ways that you can really dial up those kind of personalized elements. But I guess to your point, working for a big fashion e-com brand like the Iconic, which is phenomenal, there, I mean, there's 1,200 brands on site. So it really is around kind of you can curate and personalize what you want to see as well. And I know that what I do is when I see something, I choose my favorite brands, and then that always shows up for me, and then I'll put them on my wish list. So then I'm like, oh, okay, I've got this event coming up and I remember seeing that. So I'll buy that. So it's kind of having the foundations and then having those occasion wears and understanding what suits you, and then kind of stepping into that, identity, and I guess that new sense of self comes along with that.
Ready to meet your best self? FutureLab supplements available exclusively at Chemist Warehouse give your body what it needs to stay strong, radiant, and ageless. FutureLab's longevity trifecta, NAD+, berberine, and resveratrol work to support the hallmarks of aging from the inside out.
Well, I might just go back one step. So your comment around fashion and everyone felt like I was talking to them. Fashion is not exclusive. We all fundamentally face the same challenges in fashion. So it's the same rule, and it doesn't matter, who you are. It all applies to each of us, and that's what I love. It's inclusive. It's great. And then in terms of capsule wardrobes and how we develop different capsules for different occasions, for example, yes. And you alluded to my designer past, which I don't talk about that much, but I do have a fashion brand that I purely designed for the summer kind of holiday, hot weather, whether you be in Palm Beach or in Europe. And that was inspired by a trip to India. And I designed a whole lot of dresses in Indian cotton because it was so light and it lent itself to our climate really, really beautifully. And then that kind of took off on its own course when I came back to Australia and launched that. So yes, that is a bit of my side hustle, which I love.
Great side hustle.
Great side hustle, especially coming into summer. But also, if you are someone who goes to a lot of events, I mean, you think about what that capsule wardrobe might look like. And I can tell you right now, it is a beautiful black blazer. It might be a gorgeous clutch that you bring out each time, and then you can mix and match whether you're wearing a dress or a suit. That's what I'm loving about at the moment. You can really lean into that masculine tailoring for black tie. So it's almost about having this small capsule wardrobe that you can have for occasion wear too.
I want to talk to you about the other thing that came up at the event, and that was sustainability, circular fashion, and our own footprint when it comes to fashion waste. And do you have some thoughts on that? Because I know that, in your Star by Yellow Button hat, you were really early to talk about sustainability.
I think
Probably 5 years before it was on the radar.
I think we're all responsible for the footprint that we leave at the end of the day. And we don't, we live in quite a materialistic kind of world. And it is about that conscious fashion, about making those conscious fashion choices, which is why we're talking about the capsule collections. It's not just kind of like, oh, we'll just get something every single week and use and abuse. So I guess that's one of the reasons a personal value of mine is being conscious about sustainability and working for a company that really does lean into that as well. So, we're all responsible for playing our part. There is actually a really fun little tip that I can tell you about decluttering, because
Yes.
everyone
Lindsay.
when I had I was doing yellow button all the time, our stylist, we would basically go into do a personal styling session, and women would say, well, I don't know what I should, if I've worn it or if I haven't. So the trick is you turn your coat hangers, so the coat hangers hook like that. So turn every single coat hanger around that way. You haven't worn those pieces. So every time you wear one of your pieces, then you put it back in your wardrobe like that. And by the end of 3 months, anything that's still that way, you need to get rid of. It's brutal.
Oh, it's so brutal. I've
So
got
brutal.
anxiety thinking about that.
So brutal. That's really easy. It comes down to confidence. Fashion is a tool. It's a lever that you can, you know, you get out of the shower one day and you can either put on your pajamas, or you can put you can put on a power suit. I mean, like what is the purpose of your day, and how can you dress for it? And it could be, I remember the other day, I was picking up my daughter. She was studying, she's got her HSC at the moment. And I'd come home and I'd put my tracksuit pants on. And she's like, wow, you look a bit different than you did this morning when you were going to work. It's not very nice. But I mean, the reality is like your perception from what you look like on the outside, and radiance is not about what you are wearing. It is about how you're feeling. So when I left in the morning and I was dressed for work, yeah, I was feeling radiant because I was going to work and feeling confident in what I was wearing and had a purpose for the day.
You're listening to the highlights edit of a longer episode. If you enjoyed this clip, be sure to download and listen to the full episode.